Hey you guys, if you are new here, my name is Kara Roos and I'm the founder of Unmute Media, and we're about to get into all the goods of content coaching and what people are needed to get unmute from, okay? Today I'm sitting here with Ricky Thompson and she's going to tell us a little bit more about herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Ricky Thompson. I am born and raised in Richmond, Virginia, from the West End area. I am an entrepreneur, up and coming entrepreneur. I am the creator of Half to Full podcast. I have my own YouTube channel, and yeah, I'm just getting into the area of content creation.
Okay.
This is something new for me, to unmute my voice and use it to impact other people and build a community within communities. So, yeah.
And I like you say, like, get yourself off mute too, because she's a y'all. She's a girl. You know how people that post on their birthday only and then disappear for the rest of the time? I'm like, Ricky, you gotta post. You gotta post.
That's me.
It's okay though.
It's so hard. Like, I don't know, because I'm just so private.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a very private person. I was like the type that would post every little thing.
Yeah.
But I think since, I'm kind of like changing myself and, rediscovering myself, I kind of scaled back from a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And also, too, just on this new walk with God, because I done been on plenty walks with him. But on this walk, I just, I'm cautious more about what I post. And, I just like my privacy. Like, I feel like nowadays social media has its pros and cons. And one of the cons could be, it feels like sometimes an invasion of privacy, and you don't want to show everything because everybody's not happy for you. Not saying that I want you to be, but I just don't want the negativity coming to my page.
No, I get it.
If that makes sense.
So what made you get into wanting to do a podcast?
Well, basically, God just kind of gave me the vision to do a podcast.
Okay.
I never thought in a million years I would do a podcast, but I just had a vision that I had a dream that I was just pregnant with something. I was pregnant, but I'm thinking, okay, God, what's going on? Am I pregnant, soon to be pregnant with a baby, or?
Because you gotta be clear these days, Lord.
Gotta be clear. Or am I pregnant with a gift? Because, growing up, we know that being pregnant sometimes is that you're pregnant, you're about to birth something. Mm-hmm. Something is about to be new, a new beginning. So, I had to deep dive into that thing, and, God was like, I want you to do a podcast. I want you to speak. And you know what's crazy? I've always had these roles of being a speaker. Like, high school, I was a class president. I had to speak at, the commencement services, like all that type of stuff. So I'm just like speaking.
Like, and that's crazy.
For real, like talking, like, and not just talking about, la-di-da-di, like real conversations, real live stuff, uncomfortable conversations, things that my testimony, something that will help somebody else, things that I'm uncomfortable talking about out loud or in public setting. So I'm just like, God, you want me to do this? You sure you want me?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I want you. So I was like, all right. So I started brainstorming. I'm like, okay, what am I going to name this thing? What am I going to name it? It took a minute for the name to come up, honestly. I had to get some input, put into it, and then came up with Half to Full. So here I am,
So who is the girl that you're talking to in Half to Full?
Whew, the girl. I'm talking to the young girl. I'm talking to every aspect of the girl. Okay. Honestly, the young girl, the preteen girl, the teenage girl, the early 20s girl, and also the 30-year-old. Yeah. So every stage in my life, that's who I'm talking to.
I love that. So are you focusing on a certain type of problem that they will be having, or are you talking about life experiences? Who will you shine light on?
A little bit of everything. Okay. Honestly, really, really big on mental health. Really, really big on, things like depression, anxiety, insecurity, growing pains, relationships, heartbreak, anything you can think of, assault, abuse, everything, honestly. Family issues, family traumas, generational curses, generational traumas, all that stuff, because it's not talked about. Nobody feels comfortable talking about it. And it's like, God chose me to talk about it. Okay. And I'm just like, okay, God. And I was terrified. I'm not going to lie to you. I was terrified. But at the same time, I always hear pastors say, do it scared. Do it scared.
Girl. Anyway, I'm not even scared. I'm like,
and I'm like, you're right. Yeah. But, oh, Lord. It's just like, oh, my gosh. But do it scared. So, and in the midst of me, unraveling with this podcast and having topics to talk about, I'm actually going through it again. Like, I'm in the process of going through some of the things that I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
Even if I've been through the process or I'm going through it right now. So that's been an eye-opener for me, too. Like, 2024 was rough. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay.
They couldn't pay me to do this year again.
Oh.
For mental health. And what's crazy? I didn't even know the deepest depths of mental health until I experienced what I experienced 2 months ago.
Okay.
I went through a whole depression stage about 2 months ago. And when I say I went through, I felt every aspect of depression and anxiety. And it just gave me, and I think what God was trying to do was just grow my compassion. Because I'm like, dang, this is what people go through on a day-to-day that we don't even know.
Yeah.
We don't even know. Because
I don't think people understand.
Depression doesn't have a look. It doesn't have, it has symptoms, but we're good at hiding.
Child,
and even me.
I'm real good at hiding. Okay, I would show up.
We're good at hiding. Even myself, we could smile on the outside, but on the inside, it's like you're questioning everything, or you're dying, or you just feel empty. And you don't feel fulfilled, like with life. Like, life can really, when they say life be lifing, I didn't know what that concept meant until I got in that pit and was going through that life really be lifing. And if it weren't for God, if nothing else brought me closer to God, it was that. Because it was days where, and I'm being transparent, it was days where I didn't want to get out the bed. It was days that I cried every single day, and I didn't even know why sometimes I was crying.
Yeah.
It was days that I didn't want to eat. I lost weight. It's crazy how you lose weight when you feeling sick, when you don't even feel good.
And I did the complete opposite.
Versus when you trying to lose pounds, and it's like it's not coming off. But just sitting in that, and it's crazy because when everything else was falling apart around me, I still kept reaching for God. I still kept calling his name. I still kept like, Lord, help me, get me through this. Whatever I got to do, if I got to see a therapist, if I got to, what I got to do to get out this space. Because I don't necessarily like this space, and I've never been in this space. But I knew that I've been fighting depression for a while, but it just looked different for me.
Okay.
And in that aspect of it looking different was being strong.
Yeah.
Because that's all I knew to be.
Yeah.
Is to be strong, keep it moving, just going through with day-to-day life. But this particular season, I had to feel everything. And when I say I felt, like, I felt emotions that I didn't even know were there.
Okay.
Anger, rage, sadness, just low down in the dumps. So it was just a very eye-opening experience for me, because also too, God was like, you don't have compassion. I need to give you some. You need to have some compassion. Your heart is getting hard. And I'm like, it is, but I feel like I'm a nice person. Like, I'm always going through the ropes, but at the same time too, I was getting hard, just because it's hard for me to deal with people. Because we all come from different walks of life. So it's just like, okay, how do I deal with this situation? Or how do I deal with the mistreatment of this situation? Or how do I deal with the personality of this person? And how do I deal with, my needs getting met and me being seen and me feeling heard as well, but that was being neglected. So yeah, he took me through that experience to grow compassion for myself, for other people, for somebody else that may be going through the same thing right now. But yeah.
So it's almost like as soon as you started saying that you wanted to go into talking about this stuff, he was like, let me help you really uncover what's really been inside of you.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, because I know you had started off before, like you started doing the podcast and then you took a little break, and that's when like things started, like life started.
Whirlwind. Yeah. Like it just started, and I noticed too, because of the gift that I have, I know the enemy is waiting, and he wants to silence me. Yeah. So that's another reason why I can't be silent.
No, for real.
Because I feel like my words are that powerful that I always go through something after I do a pod, every episode, because I'm touching on something that will set a person free pretty much, or that will give understanding to a person that's trying to figure it out and trying to find the answers or trying to put it all together. So, yeah.
How did you take that? Because I know for me, sometimes I look at it and I take it when I go through things, I immediately put shame on myself. Like, I'd be like, oh, I should have seen God clearer, or I should have heard it clearer, or the enemy makes me feel like I did something wrong. And so, like, for you, do you feel like that I mean, you kind of just said it, but, like, do you ever feel like it's something that you would have done, or do you just understand the power, period, that you have in your words?
Sometimes I'm like, oh, did I move too soon? Sometimes I'll second guess.
Yeah, I got you.
And sometimes I'll be like, is this God, or is this me talking, or is this the enemy talking? Just trying to differentiate the voices of who's doing what. But once the smoke clears, it's like, okay, you got to know who you are.
Yeah.
You have a voice. God is trying to use your voice. And whatever you're trying to do for God, of course, there's going to be attacks coming right after. Like, so it's just like, and then another thing I learned was just to keep my eyes on God. No matter what's going on around me, it's just like focus on Him. Focus on Him. Because you're going to get this over here, that over there. And it's just like, no, keep my focus straight and narrow.
Yeah.
And just do what I need to do. Yeah. Because if not, I'm going to get thrown, which I've gotten thrown off and gotten sidetracked and gotten just wanted to give up. I'm like, I don't think this is for me.
Got you.
I don't think this is it, Lord. I think you need to find something else, because I don't think this is it. It's not going right. And that's what I was thinking too, because I was like, okay, I keep taking all these breaks after I do an episode. Maybe this is not it, or maybe it's not time for this because it's not working out. Like I'm thinking, but it's just like, no, and then I had to know too, to give Him the control. I'm not in control of this. I have to take my hands off, let Him drive, and I'm in the passenger seat. So, we think that things are in our control and that we're going to control what God tells us. No, He has the ultimate control over everything that He's assigned for us to do, because it's an assignment. Yeah. This is an assignment. Even this is an assignment.
Not for real. Not for real. No.
So it's just like, be obedient to the assignment and keep going. Even when it gets hard, because it did get hard. Yeah. It did get rough. And you do want to give up sometimes just because of what it looked like. And we can't look at what it looks like. Yeah. And we can't think that it's going to be like, oh, I'm supposed to blow up like so. We can't compare. Okay. Like you said.
No, that's what I'm saying. The comparison come in.
The comparison, because we're looking at all these other people with a podcast and they just taking off, blah, blah, blah. No, you have to run your own race, stay in your own lane. And when it's time for you to catapult, you're going to do it. Yeah. And just stay the course. Yeah. And I had to learn to stay the course. Because
you have to
stay the course. Nothing in life is easy. Nothing. It can appear to look easy. It can appear to be easy, but it's not easy. Especially in the background. Yeah. People can think, oh, she's so great at what she does, but they don't know the warfare that I got to fight in the background.
Let me tell you something. That's been my story this time, because that's been my thing, because I don't go through a lot of praise God, and also please Lord. Like, I don't go through a lot of physical things. My things are all mental. And because people don't see what I go through, they think I have it easy. They think I'm just in a spot. I'm just like, bruh, if y'all know that I'm crying every day, if y'all know that I am like, because I'm not even going through things just for me. Like, I know I got a generation, I got a family. Like, I know what I'm calling. You know what I'm saying?
The curse breakers.
You know,
generational. So of course we're gonna catch the hell because we know what God wants to do, and we know the place that we have in this world and in our callings.
Yeah.
And it's just like, of course we're gonna catch hell. Yeah. But you just gotta keep going. You gotta keep fighting. And easier said than done. Because like I said, when the camera's cut off, it's hard. Like it's a different story. Like you said, you crying, you trying to, woo, Lord help me, my body hurting, or things going left over here with this person, things going left over here, and the job, people on the job acting up, like it just everything. So yeah, you definitely have to. That's why I was like, keep my eyes on God. Like in my head, even with my thoughts, because my thoughts can even get just off. And I'm like, Lord help me. I got to put on the gospel music. I got to, do what I got to read my word. I got to get in my word. Okay, God, what you trying to say to me?
Yeah.
And that's all it is too, is what are you going to do in the times of trouble? What are you going to do? I feel like as a community, sometimes oh yeah, God is good, God is great,
quick to do take the normal quick stuff.
As soon as it's time to go through something, we just like, we're weak.
Yeah. And it goes to show, like, not saying we perform in church, but like how much we don't really invest in our walk with God when we actually going through. Because like you said, we say the generic stuff. We say the things, but when you have to, like, when you're going through and you literally don't know what else to do, like you said, like even in the times where, because I too felt like I want to get out of bed. Like one time I had a talk with God, and I was like, God, I hate feeling this far from you. Like I hate feeling like I can't even go to you, but like I don't want to be here. Like I don't. And like you have to eat the word, like, and go into another level and learn how to go with Him and yield to what He's saying. Because it's a different.
You gotta just surrender. Yeah. It's a place of surrenderance and a place of just obedience. Because what's the point of holding on to all that? Like, you gotta just surrender it. Turn yourself in. Like, literally, we're captive because we gotta turn ourselves in.
Yeah.
And I literally had to turn myself in for real this time. I'm just like, all right, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the way things are going. I'm tired of how my life is right now. I'm tired of this failing and this failing. I'm tired of, this person treating me this way or that person or whatever. I'm tired of still fighting the same demons I fought when I was 7 or when I was 10 or when I was 13. Like, I'm ready to be healed for real. Like, I don't want to bring all of this baggage into what you have for me. And that's really my mindset with it. Like, I don't want to bring none of this toxicity with me to where I'm going.
Okay, because we had a lot going on. We didn't even know about.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, we had going on, but we just weren't awakened. So we had scales on our eyes.
Yes.
I like to say.
Yes. Or we buried it. I was the type that buried stuff. Like my secret battles, I would bury it because I was ashamed.
Yeah.
Shame. And just, I was also a person too that struggled expressing my emotions. I didn't know how to do that because I grew up in a house to where, we said I love you and all this and stuff, but we just would pick up and move on like nothing happened.
For real.
And there was no safe space for me to just say, well, Ricky, how are you feeling today? Or what's going on? Are you okay? I mean, I would get asked those questions, but it was just like, I'm good, I'm okay. Just short answer.
Performed the answer.
Yeah, just short answer. It was no in-depth, like, well, actually, I'm going through this, and I feel like this, and this happened at school, and, this person did this, or whatever the case is, or I feel unsafe here, or I feel like my dad don't love, like, whatever, anything. My dad loves me, don't. My dad loves me. But I'm just saying, like, for an average person, these are the things they're internalizing on a day-to-day that they don't get to talk about, or they don't know how to talk about. I'm going to say don't know how to talk about. Because I'm not going to say that people don't want to talk about stuff. They just don't feel safe in a space to talk about it and don't know how to talk about it.
Okay, yeah.
Because I feel like in our community, there was no such thing as depression. What you mean you depressed? Go depress them dishes.
Okay.
Like,
no, for real.
Like, what you mean you depressed? Or what you mean like you feeling away? It was just it was unheard of. And if it was there, it was masked with behaviors. Like, I was going through depression, but I had my spending habits.
Okay, the addiction.
I was going shopping. I felt like shopping was filling that void and making me feel better because I was just not in a good space. And then I'm like, oh, I feel better for the temporary time. But, or just indulging food. Like, I love food, but indulging too much. Or drinking. When I was out in the world, drinking and smoking. You know, I don't do those things anymore. But I did do those things. Yeah. And I'm not ashamed to say that I did those things because I'm not perfect. And I don't act like I am.
Okay, look, transparency is key.
If you want to attract the real, you got to be real.
No.
And being real is say, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
I did a lot of things.
And getting rid of the shame to come out
along
with it.
Because when you talk about it, you get free from it. When you're not afraid to like say what you did, it's like a freedom.
And the enemy, he banks on us.
He hate that.
Like,
he hate it.
He was like, oh, yeah.
They
feel like
captive.
They can't say it. Oh, yeah, I got them. And people don't even understand, like, the power of conversation in the community. Like, just being able to talk to somebody, talk it out. Like, what is a friend or a therapist? Like, it makes a difference. Or even declaring it out your own mouth, even... Because I think even
talking to God.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. But, like, you know, sometimes when we pray, we say things, like, even internally, but, like, never, like, come out and, like, pray out loud. But, like, even the power that you take back when you declare something out loud in prayer, like... It changes.
And that power is unmatched because I just started, like, when I say I be honest with God, I be like, Lord, I did this. I cussed today. I wanted to cuss them out. I had some road rage today. Like, I just be honest with him because he already know.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. I feel like it draws us closer when we just outright say what we did and just be like, Lord, forgive me, you know.
Yeah.
Because he knows. He knows what we battle, what we face.
And us.
But I just feel like he has, I don't know, I just feel like he has more respect for us when we come out and say it. I don't know. But it's just like, it's a father and daughter relationship.
And now people, hold on, because people don't have that father-daughter, you know, or either father-son, like, parental, like, understanding how God is not how man is. That's a whole...
It's a whole
thing right there. Game. Yeah.
And when I say the love that God has for us is like unmatched compared to the love our parents have for us. Okay. Yeah, my mama may love me, but God loved me. Like the love from God is just way different because even at my worst, he still was like, I love you.
Yeah.
Even when I couldn't pray, I didn't want to pray, or I didn't have the attitude to go to church, or I just wasn't in it. I just shut everything out. He still was by my side.
Yeah.
But of course, because I called on him, but also because I'm his daughter. Like, what? When everybody turned their back on you, and God is still like, well, I'm right here. What?
Okay.
Even when you do wrong, like, even when you still sip that drink or take that smoke, he still loves us. And it's like, I feel like people too, they strive so hard to be perfect. They think they got to be perfect before they come to God. It's like, no, like he uses you the best when you broken.
Yeah.
I
think when we think about like the average church person or something like that, that's when people be like, oh, I can't go because I know how they are and I know I'm not there yet.
And it just puts
comparing your walk and like literally go to God, like come to him.
And it just puts a bad rep on, you know, us Christians because it's just like, it's more than that. Like, if you just go to church for God and don't even worry about the people, it's just like, it'll blow your mind. Because I had to stop looking at people and caring about what they doing.
Yeah.
It's a relationship. Yeah. Like, I'm here for God. I'm here to do this. I'm here to get my own healing. I can't look at you. Yeah, you may have hurt my feelings, but I can't look at you. God gonna deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's easier said than done. I wasn't always like that. But I just feel like he's matured me so much and gave me so much wisdom that it's just like, don't worry about them.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me. Again, focus on me.
Yeah.
It's like we project the focus on everything else and what somebody else doing. And everybody, like you said, everybody has their different walk. Everybody has a different walk. And everybody's in a different season in their journey that we can't look at them. We can't compare. We can't judge. Definitely can't judge. But it's just like, okay, they're on a journey.
Yeah.
I'm going to pray for them. I hope, all is well. But they're on their journey. Like, that's it. So, yeah, it's real.
Yeah. Girl, I feel like this whole thing is just turned into ministry right now. So,
don't it always?
Okay, look. So you're talking comfortable right now. So like 2025 is upon us. Like is the podcast coming back in 2025?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So do you have like any barriers that you are still like fighting with, like we're going forth with the podcast?
Barriers, I would say like the setup, how I want it to be.
Okay.
Where to do it at. I kind of like the idea of being in different places, recording.
What do you mean, like different places, like?
Different settings. Like, I might be in here, and then I might be on the couch at somebody's house, and then I might be, I don't know, in the studio somewhere. Like, I don't know, I like the idea of that, just different scenery.
Okay.
And also, in the midst of getting new equipment, just because I'm very particular. Like, I don't like to say this, but perfectionist. But I'm trying.
Yeah.
But I just like things a certain way, and I like to bring quality things to people. I just don't like to dish out whatever. So just building up like what I want to do, getting a sign, getting, just certain things, barriers, and as far as fitting guests into my schedule and getting along with their schedule, because it's some people that I want on there. I feel like I do better with people, talking to people, and not just myself.
I got you.
I don't like being just in a space where it's just me. It feels awkward, but I like having this conversation. It makes me feel more comfortable and just more open because I'm talking to somebody. So, but yeah, I would say that's about it.
Okay, so my goal is to like, or not even with you, but just overall, it's like help people like figure out where is God telling them to start. And I know you said like you think about going different places, and that comes with money. It comes with like the setups and all that stuff. Like you having your own thing, so you can maneuver and do all that things. So like, does that deter you from when you want to start, or like is it like you can't start until those things are set up? Because what do you feel?
Some of it, I feel like some things I don't want to start until some things are put in place.
Okay, like?
Just like the settings.
Okay.
And some of the equipment, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm working diligently on that, honestly, because I'm trying to get the ball rolling.
I got you.
But also, too, I'm not that type of person that's going to be putting out pods every other week. I just don't feel the need to do that right now.
Okay.
So.
And you're doing a video podcast, right? Yeah. And you're putting it on YouTube. Of course. Are you going to be putting it that's like shorts on Instagram and stuff? Or
I'm getting there. I got to get better at the content part and bring more attraction to the podcast page, because I feel like I don't get as much volume as I do on my regular page.
Yeah.
Like when I post my stuff on my regular page, it gets more volume.
Well, that's actually like a regular thing. Like you have people like do a lot of collaboration posts with their page and the podcast page, but I think it doesn't come first. You know what I'm saying? And it comes with like having a collaboration post, having the content that you flood on there, like people gaining it, and then having people will want to just follow it just because they love what's happening over there.
And the accountability partners.
Okay. What do you mean, like?
Like I thrive off of people pushing me.
Okay. Okay.
So it's like, get me in check. Okay, what you doing? You doing content this week? You posting this week? What's going on? Because sometimes I'll just get busy in my day-to-day life that I'm just like, I don't have time for this. But I just want to be more consistent.
Okay.
But not as a fact of posting every week. I don't want to put too much on myself and burn myself out.
Got you.
But I want to post enough to where it's like, okay, it has some type of rhythm.
I got you.
But Also, just staying in my own lane, honestly. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. Okay. Honestly, I put in the bio, I said, it's not your ordinary podcast. Like, I'm running the show. Okay. Kind of. I just feel like I'm running the show. This is my show. This is my space.
So how do you measure success for your podcast if you're not doing it like everybody else? You can't, and say you're not posting all the time. Like, are you still trying to use social media metrics? Are you using, not saying like to measure your success though? Like, does that mean you're successful? Does having a certain amount of views mean you're successful? Does the feeling that you actually just did it mean you're successful? What does success look like for you?
To me now, success just matters of who I can impact. Whether it's one person, 3 people, it really just doesn't matter. It's just like I'm just doing the assignment. Yeah. Like, it's just, I don't want to be chasing after views and chasing after this. It's just whoever watches it, and whoever's life it changes, then that's what it does. Okay. I just don't want to get caught up in, oh, I gotta have this many likes, because it's so easy to get caught up in that stuff. Yeah, I understand that. And it just, I'm just going with the flow, like.
Yeah, and I can tell, and I'm just like over here, like, okay, because this happens with a lot of people. It's like they go with the flow, and then, but like I'm like, if God gave you this idea, if God told you this is like part of your ministry, this is part of your evangelism, right? Mm-hmm. So like, it's just going with the flow. Still, is that what He's told you to do? Is that what you're just like settling with because you're that type of person, anyways?
This is just, I feel like it's what I'm told to do because I feel like I've taken. I'm letting Him have control. Okay. Because if I was in control, I probably would have been like, oh, I got to have this many views. I got to do I got to do this. I got to post it. And that's kind of the issues I was having last year because I was just feeling so defeated that I wasn't. But now that I feel like, all right, God, like, you tell me when to post. You tell me when to do. Okay. It's literally like you tell me what to what. And He's been giving me the topics. I've been writing them down in my phone. The questions I'm going to ask, like, He just literally, okay, this week I want you to talk about this. Yeah. This time around, I want you to talk about rejection. I'm like, what? This time around, I want you to talk about grief. This time around, He just downloads into me. Okay. And it's just like, I'm just letting Him take the wheel because I just don't want to get big-headed. I want to stay humble, and I just want to be used. Okay. But in the most subtle way, and just letting Him guide me, and wherever He want to take me, He gonna take me. I just feel like we don't have to do that much. Like, we have to do the work, but it's just like, with Him, it's just like, it's not gonna be that to where you feel burnt out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, He's definitely gonna give you grace for whatever you gotta do. And I feel like when you're trying to do stuff and it does have you feeling burnt out, or it does have you feeling like you doing something in your own strength at that point. Like, at this point, you're not yielding to Him enough. You're not going back to your secret place enough because He didn't ever call us to have the ways of the world be our metrics.
And that's how I've been feeling this past year is that I felt like I was doing it in my own strength. And 2, sometimes that's probably why I wasn't ready. And because He's like, I'm still dipping you in this refiner's fire. I'm still burning some things off of you. Stop trying to get ahead of me and let me clean you some more. Let me, show you first and get some more stuff off of you so I can really use you how I want to use you. So it's all a process. It's been a process. And this very moment right now, I'm just realizing, like, what He's been doing. Like, literally pruning me.
Pruning and purging. Yeah.
Pruning and purging and just saying, let me do this.
And I think what's been coming to my mind this whole time is like, I felt like one time I was in the season saying I was like emerging. Like, I was like, oh, I'm emerging or whatever like that. And God was just like, and I think the first initial feeling of like feeling like you're ready to go to the next, that's where He's like, okay, now they're ready to start. And it's just like, you know how, what's the movie? Hunger Games. Like, I volunteer as tribute. And then like, do you know what you're about to sign up for?
You know what you're about to sign up for?
And I feel that as soon as I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready to merge, God was just like, bet she's ready to work. And like, before you think about a butterfly, like it's a caterpillar first, right? And then it's like, okay, you down. I feel like there's a season that a caterpillar has to go through where they're just living life, regular life. And then the cocoon season is where it's like, okay, God is making you. And I feel like we in that cocoon season, like the purging and the pruning happens. And then you're ready to go forth. And that's the end of like the cocoon season. Like you start some things, you stop some things. Like, and I always tell people, like, give yourself trial periods when you're doing stuff, because I mean, he might have given you an idea, and yeah, you may like, because you might have heard about a season or something like that, you started it and it didn't work out in that time, or he needed to give you steps. Like, you saw one step and then you was like, oh, that's the next step, and then he's just like, wait, let me give you 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what I'm saying? And so in that, I just feel like
describing it perfectly.
Yeah, that's how it literally came to my mind. It's just like the cocoon season of like, okay, now, and then you get to that stage where he's like, okay, now you're fully ready to emerge into what I'm calling you to be. And I think sometimes we try to skip over the cocoon season, or that first inkling of when we feel like, oh yeah, we're ready, makes it feel like that's the moment that we're about to go forth. And he's just like, nah, this is really the moment that I'm really just about to start working on you.
This is when the process starts. The part that we all hate. This is where that is about to start.
Ain't no telling how long it's gonna be.
Right.
And that's the ghetto part. Because I was like, I really thought last year, I was like, 2023, it can't get no worse than that.
I was like, all right, bet.
Oh my God.
All right, bet. You think you ain't seen nothing yet.
That was intense.
Like, oh.
That was intense.
Yes.
I don't like it. I really don't. But we're gonna stay with you, Lord. We're gonna stay with you.
Because where am I gonna go? Okay. Where am I gonna go?
Yeah.
There's nowhere. I can't go backwards. I can only go forward. So, it's just, but I appreciate the process now, because, we live in such a microwave generation to where it has to happen now. I gotta do it now. And it's just like, bro, if you skip the process, you really skip out on the character development. You really skip out on the important parts, like the details, the development, the attributes of yourself, the healing, the everything. Like, you really miss out. You don't want to go back.
Okay,
but it's just like going through it though. It just opens your eyes to so much. Like, when I say my eyes have been opened so much this year, my eyes just have been, it's like literal scales have been removed.
I literally wrote that the other day.
Like, it was blurry, and now it's like crystal clear. And I'm just like, oh my God.
And people don't understand what that come with. That come with your people changing, it come with your life changing, it come with your heart changing.
Girl.
It's a lot of grieving. It's a lot of grieving. It is a lot of grieving.
Let me tell you. Oh my gosh, let me tell you. I've been grieving.
Heavy.
I'm
telling you. I can just think about something. I'll be like, oh my God,
I'm about to cry.
Like, I can't. It's a grieving season. But it's necessary.
And it's not even grieving people that have passed on, but people that's still alive.
I'm not people going
that you once were something with, people that you thought y'all was gonna go to the next level together, girl, the grief.
What's the next question? Because I'm really not going there with you. But grieving is very, very much so real. Yes. Like, I can't, and I think it's like really people don't understand it. People also misdiagnose what they're actually feeling as grief. But yeah. So what is like one thing that you want the person that has felt everything that you just talked about, like the year that you just gone through, like what would you say to them specifically if they're thinking about, 2025 being a year that they're like not gonna let anything hold them back anymore, but they also want to remain like in God and not use the metrics of the world to like define, what's good or what's not. What do you say to them?
I would say do it scared. Keep your focus on God every step of the way. Don't let anything distract you or discourage you. No matter what it looks like, you can't believe what it looks like. You just got to keep going. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on the assignment. Know why you're doing what you're doing. And just let everything flow. Don't try to be something you're not. Be authentic. Be real. Be transparent. Depending on what audience you want to attract, you have to figure that out and go through the process. Feel everything. Don't ignore your emotions. Don't crash out. Crash out in private. Crash out in private. But feel everything. Let it all out with God. Give him your whole self. Be honest with yourself. Be honest about what you feel. Be honest about what you want to do. Be honest about your flaws, your downfalls, whatever. Just be honest. Be real. Because you'll feel free. And whatever you do for God, you want to do it walking in freedom. You don't want to do it bogged down and in bondage to things that you can just give to him. You know? You just want to do it free. And if you're scared, do it scared. But you just got to take that risk. Just like, people in the world, you got to take risk.
Yeah.
You literally got to take risk because you can't be fearful of the unknown all the time because it's just, we don't know what our futures hold.
Yeah.
Only God knows. We just got to trust him. Trust God. That might sound cliche, but no, trust God. Trust him. And if you got trust issues, you got to figure that out because you can't get through this process without trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't get through this process trying to think you can cheat your way through and fake it. You can't fake it. You got to get real down and dirty and honest and submit. You got to submit. This is submission, like pure submission. And if you want the things that God has for you, you got to do it his way and not your way. Mm-hmm. Which is, I had a shirt made by you that said, his will, not my will.
Okay. Come on, you better bring up the old business. Oh, wait.
His will, not my will.
Yeah.
His way, not my way. It's not your way. Release control. I had to release that control.
Yeah.
Because that's what's, got most of us tied up is control. We think we're supposed to control everything. Let go of that illusion.
Okay.
Stop being delusional.
Okay, because that's the word for the season.
Stop being delusional.
Stop being delusional. Okay. Y'all,
yes.
This is good. Thank you for coming in. I know you helped somebody with this, like for real.
I hope so.
I know I did. Y'all, that is a wrap. Hope it helps you. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.